I'm here with Cinema L'Amour. How's it going, guys?
Fantastic, thank you.
It's going real good.
How are you guys enjoying this beautiful Newfoundland weather?
It's been incredible. A little on the sweaty side for my taste, especially when you're in a packed bar. But, you know, it's absolutely gorgeous to have the clear skies and, you know, lack of, you know, serious downpour. That's what I'm always worried about by the ocean, is just getting soaked.
We haven't actually seen any fog in St. John's either. When we were driving over, it was pretty socked in on the highway, but it's been completely clear here, so no, it's gorgeous.
So you guys have been on tour for a little bit?
For a little while now. We started out on the mainland. We did, well, I guess not technically. We started out in Charlottetown and moved on to Halifax and Sydney, Nova Scotia, where we have a bit of a following, and it's always a blast. And then took the ferry over and met up with a couple of friends we had done a short tour with last time and did Stephenville and Corner Brook. And we're told a lot of people miss those places on their way through. They just do the straight shot through to St. John's, and I can tell any band who's looking to come out to this neck of the woods that it's absolutely worth the stop, and it's been a lot of fun, and we're really glad to be in St. John's. We have a bunch of friends here, like all of the local music community and the bars and things have been incredibly supportive, and we just really like the musical attitude out here, and it's been a blast every time we make it out this far.
Okay. So you guys have been on the go since about, what, 2009, is that correct?
That was when the first show for this band was? Yeah. I guess we started jamming almost exactly 4 years ago on this stuff, and then played our first show in November of 2009. Yeah, so that's 3.5 years since the first show.
But yeah, our history starts well before that. We started out in our first band when we were 13, I guess. Yeah, we were in grade 8. And yeah, we went through a few iterations. We went through a pop-punk band, and we went through a bizarre noise grind band, and a indie rock orchestra with a slide whistle player. And we landed in Montreal, and we decided to... I guess it wasn't a conscious decision, really, just to do the two of us. It just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah, well, I moved to Montreal in 2007 and spent a couple years doing a lot of solo shows and stuff, and then basically spent every weekend on the phone telling Chris to come move out here. And it took 2 years, but he did it. And then we just started playing in our house, and we live in this big loft and can jam there all the time. And so we did that, and then all of a sudden we got offered this show. And then we were playing this show, and then if we had a show, then we had to be a band, and so if we were a band, we had to have a name, and if we had to have a name, then we could have like a web presence, and then if we had a web presence, then we could go on tour, and then we should probably have recordings, and then all of a sudden it's 3 years later, and we've played like 110 shows, and have a full-length record and a bunch of stuff.
So you guys have kind of seen it all, hey?
Yeah, it's...
No, we've toured all over Canada. That's what we've done. We haven't seen it all.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so you've seen all of Canada?
Yes, we've seen all of Canada. But
that's even an exaggeration.
Yeah,
we're missing the territories. We haven't gone up north.
Also, Vancouver Island. We've never been to Vancouver Island. We haven't actually been from westernmost tip to easternmost tip. We've done Vancouver, and we've been all the way out to Cape Spear. We haven't played there, sadly. We should do a show at Cape Spear. That would be awesome. But yeah, no, we've seen all the provinces. We've played in all the provinces. And yeah, no US yet, no Europe yet, no Japan yet, but soon, hopefully.
So your last, I guess, recording was fairly recently? Was that fairly recently?
Yeah, May we released our very first full-length album to a packed house in Montreal, and we've been trying to keep that momentum rolling. We submitted it, sent it out to some of the campus radio stations, and we've been getting some plays both in Montreal as well as our hometown back in Calgary has been very good to us, and a couple of other places, you know, across Canada. It's kind of spread out in a weird way, and we're charting in a couple of places that we're not actually playing, which is a bit of a disappointment, but
yeah, so yeah, the record, we were working on it for about 2.5 years, I guess, on and off. It was all DIY recorded. I work as a freelance recording engineer, so I was kind of engineering it. and we did it in a whole bunch of different places, like in our loft and our friend's loft and jam spaces, and actually campus radio station in Montreal too. We did a bunch of tracking there. So it was a hugely long process, but it's finally finished, and yeah, it's out now, which is cool.
Okay. So second last show of the Newfoundland tour here.
Yeah.
What's next for you guys?
Well, tonight we're playing at the Ship, and then tomorrow we're playing at CB's, and then we have a few more dates on this tour. We've got more shows in Sydney and Halifax, and going to Moncton and Sackville. So, yeah, that'll be good. After that, we're playing a festival, or perhaps two, in the next month and a half in Montreal. And then we're getting ready to celebrate our 4th band birthday.
Okay.
Our band is, I don't know, weird-ish, and we throw our own birthday parties on the anniversary of our first show. We've been doing it, well, the last 3 years we did it, and we're doing another one in late November, early December. We don't have the exact date solidified, but we throw really big loft parties and have, as part of the performance, a bunch of our friends' bands will play with us, and then also we, for the last bit of the show, try and get a whole bunch of extra musicians to come play a new pseudo-improvised piece with us every year that's generally between 10 and 15 minutes long. We have generally 7 or 8 musicians on stage.
We've dubbed the ensemble the Cinema L'Orchestra.
Yeah, and so we're getting ready for the 4th iteration of that in the fall.
Okay. This last question is for the, I guess, the viewing public. Where can people check out your music and such?
The easiest thing to do is to just go to cinemal'amourtheband.com.
Okay.
From there, you can find us on Facebook or Bandcamp or really all over the place, Twitter. But generally speaking, Cinema L'Amour the Band, if you just type that into Google, you will have plenty of luck. We've done our best to make it easy on you.
If you type in without the band, you'll have plenty of luck. It just might be of the X-rated variety.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
named after a sultry theater in Montreal that is, confused a few of our fans by this point.
Okay. Well, thanks guys for hanging out with us.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.